Well, joining me now is Advocacy Director for EuromedRights, Sara Prestianni. Thanks very much for joining us on the programme today. It's being hailed, this in Europe, as a very positive thing, an EU-wide agreement, a common, solid approach. Surely that's a step forward, isn't it?
A common approach that is mainly focused on undermining fundamental rights of migrant and refugee. 3 years, the pact has been presented in September 2020, and from there we have seen negotiation, but the final conclusion, the final resolution will be voted today by the European Parliament, introducing very dangerous principle. From one side, as you mentioned, the third country principle that will be leading to increase return to not safe country, but also a lack of solidarity mechanisms. So yes, member states find an agreement, but this agreement not go in the right direction in terms of protection of migrant and refugee and fundamental rights.
Yeah, indeed. A lot of those issues you mentioned there are shown in the fact that the Parliament itself is incredibly divided. People, even within certain blocs, wanting to vote for or against this.
Yes, what we see and imagine, because members of the European Parliament have, after tough negotiation in December, now realize that what is on the table for the vote is going against the main principle of solidarity and respect of fundamental rights. And also because when the pact has been announced, that would be announced as a reform of the Dublin regulation. Now what we see is the Dublin regulation is there with the principle of first end countries again and again, but also because this new legislation will open to de facto detention at border, including detention of family with children. That's not the idea of solidarity. That's not the idea of reception and hosting people. But also when we speak about solidarity, it's not acceptable that there is no mandatory relocation, and instead member states can choose to pay fences or also to pay projects in external country. When we see with which country the European Union is dealing, first of all, Tunisia, that is living a clear humanitarian derive, and also Egypt, or again Lebanon or Turkey. Member states and members of the European Parliament have to understand that that's not a solution, that is only a way to limitate and undermine migrants and refugee rights.
A lot of people are saying, though, that actually what the Parliament here is doing is responding to public demand, that actually a lot of people feel that this is what's needed, and the Union feels it needs to go in this direction, inevitably, of course, with those elections in June in mind as well.
But you have to understand that in practice, some of this proposal will be also impossible to put in place because that will mean for other countries such as Italy and Spain to increase to hundreds of detention facility. I'm not sure that that's what European citizens want. But also at the same time, it would be also putting in detention family. I'm not sure that it's what European people want, and also there is a willingness in terms of solidarity, but this pact don't reflect this solidarity mechanism. So I think that we have to be back to European pillar of solidarity, reception and hosting principle that is not integrated in this pact, and also because we have seen for many years that there is a real failure of the Dublin system, and again we are putting in place this principle. I'm not sure that the European citizens want to be sent back to countries such as Tunisia, asylum seekers, putting in risk their life. What I think European citizens want is to reduce also the number of deaths. But in this case, the pact failed to provide real measure to decrease the number of deaths and to find a way that people not take a boat. The only way to avoid that people risk their life and not take a boat is to open legal pathway. But unfortunately, that's not mechanism put in place in the pact. The pact is only increase detention border and repeating models such as the Moria one. We listen a lot the slogan "No more Moria," and we are again with the Moria model in place with this new pact.
Good to have you on the programme today. Thanks very much for joining us. That's Sara Prestianni from EuromedRights. Thank you.